guys, it's V, and I'm back with another video. What I'm going to be talking about today is anxiety. Nobody on here knows that I have suffered with anxiety and depression for a very, very, very long time. I'm 23, and this started when I think it started when I was 12, but definitely had like a full impact at 13. So I've been dealing with this for a very long time, and I just kind of want to give you bits and pieces of my story. If you have questions, please leave them in the comment section below, and I will elaborate on anything that you feel like you didn't get enough information on. So I'm just going to go ahead and start with how I coped with it being a teenager into how I cope with it now. When I was a teenager, I didn't know how to cope with it at all. I was in high school at the time, and 8th grade, that's kind of where it started. I was 12 into 13 into 8th grade, and I was homeschooled. So it's not like I had to go. That was my first year of homeschool too. I was in regular school. It was my first year of homeschool. It was 8th grade. I didn't have to deal with people. I didn't have to explain to anyone. I was just home doing my work, and if I had an anxiety attack or was depressed, I could deal with it on my own at home, which was really, really nice. As soon as 9th grade came around, I was still in homeschool, but then decided that I wanted to go to high school. Now, this is where my sickness kind of like kicked in for sure. So much. It definitely kicked in. I want to say it really, really kicked in the summer before 9th grade, but it definitely had a huge toll on me during my 9th grade. So like I said, I started in homeschool, but I really, really wanted to go to high school. No matter the anxiety, the depression, my sickness, I really wanted to go to high school. So I enrolled in the high school that was up the street from me. I enrolled like a Wednesday. And I remember thinking like, okay, this is cool because then I'm going to start school on Monday. I'll have like the weekend to mentally prepare myself, to get myself used to going back to school. Keep in mind, I already had anxiety, depression, my sickness, and I had developed an extreme social anxiety from not being in school. And don't get me wrong, I was not home all the time. I was in church, and at the time I was really involved in a youth group, so I was at church almost every day of the week at night, doing stuff, volunteering, going to youth group, going to church, all of it. I was doing outside activities with friends and stuff from church. It was just school. I didn't have any type of social anxiety at church at all. I felt comfortable there. I knew the people. Even if there were like newcomers coming in, I knew everyone. So it was easy to make new friends because you already kind of have your friends there. But going into a high school where you don't know anyone, I had extreme anxiety. The principal told my mom that, hey, she can start school tomorrow. And I was shook. And I was like, nah fam, I'm good. I'll start on Monday. Like, I need that time. Like, I really need that time to soak it in. And the principal of the school and my parents had no sympathy on you needing to soak it in. So they forced me to go to school the next day, which was my worst nightmare. Even though I wanted it, like I wanted it so bad, and I think it was just because I wanted to feel normal. Even though all of this stuff was happening to me, I wanted to feel normal. And going back to school was me trying to be normal. The time that I was there was like less than 3 months because my insomnia got so bad that I could not wake up to go to school. I wasn't getting my stuff done. I was extremely behind, and it just ended up being probably the worst academic decision I've made for myself because I was only there for less than 3 months, which you don't get credits for 3 months. You get credits for a semester. So, when everything got really, really bad, my parents finally noticed and decided that, yo, we need to get this checked out. Something's not right. They put me back into homeschool. Later on in life, I was diagnosed with a sickness. I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety. But because of my sickness, I was already on medication. I refused to take medication for depression, and I refused to take medication for anxiety. I am still like that to this day because I feel like I need to work through it myself. Now I'm 23 and I'm still contemplating the medication for anxiety and depression. It's still something that is very real in my life and has not gotten any better, but I've learned to cope with it. So I'm still trying to test out things that I've learned to do while I'm having attacks, and if I can work through it, then I will work through it versus getting medication. I want to just jump into the triggers now. Nothing much changed in high school except for the symptoms getting worse. Nothing else changed. I still didn't know what the hell was going on with me. I had no friends that were dealing with what I was dealing with. I didn't know anyone in my family. I had like no one who understood what was happening to me. So I went back into homeschool, and I went back into school, but I found a school that had less than 300 people in it. So I went back to school for my sophomore year, and then half of my junior year I was still at that school, and then my symptoms came back. I went into independent studies from that school. And then my senior year, I went fully back into homeschool because my symptoms from my sickness completely took over my life. But I got through it. I graduated on time. And then that fast forwards me into college. My social anxiety completely went away because being homeschooled for so long was like, I'm ready for people. I'm so ready to meet new people. So a lot of my anxiety comes from being sick, because it is something that is like constant in my life. Making those types of appointments, knowing what they're for and why they're checking, like, it's just very stressful. So that is definitely a trigger for me. A lack of sleep is another trigger. I'm claustrophobic, so anytime I'm in a small space or at like a general admission concert where it's like body to body, trigger it a lot. But I'm not in a place where I'm dealing with that every single day. Of course, when it comes to health stuff, it stresses me out, but I feel like I can got into the place where these new updates or things that I'm hearing is nothing new. I can kind of cope with it, I understand it, and I do what I have to do to keep on moving on. So right now the things that trigger my anxiety is, again, stress and tight spaces, so claustrophobia. I'm very claustrophobic, so I had an anxiety attack at a 21 Pilots concert. And so this is like a prime example of how I kind of get through it. So I definitely wanted to share with you. So I just wanted this right here to be my anxiety story, or at least parts of it, key parts of it. Like I said, if you have questions down, go ahead and leave them down below. I have another video coming out that is a story time, that'll be up next week, that deals with one of my main anxieties and how I deal with it. So I hope you guys watch that one because I'm going to be telling you how I deal with it. And it was the first time in the middle of an anxiety attack where I was able to like turn off that switch. And since that happened, it's been pretty useful to me. There are some times where it doesn't work and I just need to like ride out that anxiety attack. But I will explain everything in the other story. Again, it's a story time. It happened out in public. So if you guys want to see that, make sure you stay tuned to next week. Don't forget to subscribe to see videos whenever I put them out. And yeah, don't forget to comment. Don't forget to like this video if you did. And share it. Share this video. I don't know why you should, but you should. But yeah, so I put out videos whenever the heck I want, but usually on Mondays and Thursdays. And yep. Alright, bye.